Well, I heard the music of water and I had to come over and talk to Eamon from Hughes Water Gardens. And Eamon, always, you have such a beautiful display at the Yard Garden Patio Show.
Oh, I'm very lucky my staff put all this together while I was sitting having a pina colada somewhere.
Well, you could feel like you're in a different part of the world being in this booth. And I know that you want us to take those ideas home and do it at home too.
But it is with the, people are worried with the economy, they don't want to travel, so people are starting to nest a little more and just look after the home. And you can create your own little oasis with water, and we're doing many things at our nursery, ideas for people if they come down or come down to the show and see different ideas for their patios or for their gardens.
You can do a big pond, a big water feature, or you could do something as small as just a water bubbler just on your patio. So it doesn't matter what kind of space you have, you really can help us with any kind of a water feature.
You can, and some people are just daunted by the fact of trying to build a big pond.
Right.
So start with something small and something you won't, get into trouble in your relationship with that's going to drag on for months. So something you can actually build in a weekend or 2 weekends and have it to enjoy.
No, that's true. Yeah. So there's always lots of ideas here, and I love that you have art incorporated. I know when we come out to the store, Hughes Water Gardens, you always have art out there. But even down here, you've brought a lot of different pieces.
We have some koi here done by Constance Lee Adams.
They're so cute.
And Victoria Shaw's totems are just magnificent.
Very nice.
And then Jonathan Burnett's archways, he's doing these timber frame archways. And we'll be bringing these back to the nursery and featuring them in our nursery through the summer as well.
Ah, that's nice. It's always nice to come out there, and even for July to come out for the Water Lily Festival, that's always a treat to see the artists.
Yeah.
Well, I know today we want to kind of plug that you're having a seminar later today.
2 o'clock today, I'm doing Water Gardening 101, and I'll give ideas, some general ideas showing people everything from a very tiny one up to a large waterfall. It's just basically to inspire you, give you ideas. And then we run free classes all summer. The first one on construction will be next Saturday, the 7th at 10 a.m. So go to our website, have a look. I think that'll be running at the bottom of the screen. They can see the website and see the times of the classes and come on out. They're really informative. And it's really important that you do that, then you don't get into trouble when you go to build your own little feature.
Oh, it's true. And you go out to Hughes Water Garden, go to your website to get that information, because you have so many people with all that knowledge. It makes it so much easier. You take all the fear out of it, and you protect the relationship at home, which is so important.
It is. No, it's really important for me to educate people and get them to do it properly the first time.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you can come on down to see Hughes Water Garden display at Yard Garden Patio Show. It's just lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Well, it's really a pleasure to be sitting here with Drew Snodgrass of the Dennis's 7 Dees nurseries here in Portland. And this place that you have laid out here, it really is temporary, but it feels like it's been here for so long. Absolutely beautiful. Let's talk about some of the elements that have gone into it.
Thank you. Well, we tried to create a vision that people could see incorporated in their yard. And this is a very sustainable garden. So we start with a gazebo that has a living roof, and that basically insulates, can be put on a home or a garage or a gazebo. It filters water, and that water is directed to be utilized in the landscaping. So we have this little distribution that flows into a really cool water feature that you see behind us. And then in this design we have that kind of flowing or overflowing, and that would be fed by roof gutter water.
Yeah.
And it flows through a stream to a rain garden. That intent is to have it saturate and filter into the soil, providing water for the surrounding plants and be ecologically sensitive.
And it is. It's so self-contained, and it purifies. It does all the stuff that you would do, except it's right there in your own property.
And it actually keeps refuse and bad chemicals from drifting into the sewer system or down the street. And you've accepted it into your yard for a pretty water feature effect.
Yeah, exactly. And I love you put some great rain chains over on your gazebo too, and that just is part of that whole process.
Right. That is another way you can collect gutter water and distribute it ornamentally. And there are really beautiful ways, lots of different looks of rain chains. But if you cluster them, you create a little bit more interesting effect and a little more dominant effect.
Well, I've noticed in the landscaping of the plants here, I don't see a lot of what I would traditionally see at shows, which is, a lot of annual color. But there is so much color in this landscape. it's really great. Tell us how you came up with some of the ideas of the planting and about vegetables in the areas.
Well, the fact that we elevate the planting space and do it in a permanent solution with rock means that you can have perfect soil for any kind of planting. In the foreground, we have really drought-resistant plantings that would be full sun. In the background, we have lots of vegetables incorporated into the landscaping. It includes lettuces and leeks and bok choy, spinach, just a real assortment, snap peas. You can incorporate properly these plantings and they will add texture and foliage color, and they're really kind of a fun, edible way to create a landscape. As we move through the landscape, we go into wetlands development around the receiving pond for the rain garden. And then a little further, we go into shade-loving plants. Those are ones that you'd see with very dappled sunlight, wouldn't need much sun at all, but you can have so much intrigue in the forest floor, and that can be done in landscapes, especially along a pathway where you could see a lot of intrigue and the nuances of the different textures.
Well, it really is a tapestry of color right there. It looks like a carpeting of color. It's just absolutely beautiful.
It's fun, and if you recognize the foliage textures and color, that is always going to be there. That's always going to look sharp. And when they bloom, that's just a little accentuation.
A little extra, yeah. Well, you know, there's so many great things to see here at the Yard Garden and Patio Show, and I would certainly encourage you to come by this display gardens. I mean, there's so many things we didn't even talk about. They have these great boulders that are a couch under the gazebo, and the pathway actually looks like a vine out of bricks that they've cut. It's just really beautiful, great ideas, and certainly while you're here, visit the Dees 70s booth, which is right across the aisle from the display gardens. Talk to them, and maybe you can start working on your own yard and getting some of these ideas put into there. Drew, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, William.